Okay, so here is the 4960. I did not do any work on this thing yet. Everybody else has. So now I have to do the game of where my parts are, which is not too difficult. I'm just going to put a board out there on 255-gallon drums and start laying stuff out. Or on 2 truck tires. That'll work too. I'm going to pull the head here pretty soon. Looks to me as though we had a leaky valve cover gasket here. No, we didn't. It came out of there. Hydraulic oil. As that's all wet now, and I know it wasn't wet before. So I rebuilt this thing, I think, in 2013 and 2014. So about 5-6 years ago is when I redid the cab on this thing. Been that long, yeah. And that was when I put the new head gasket on. And obviously I had put new head bolts in, but I've got all that new now again. Yeah, you know, the problem is I don't remember. I remember taking that head off of there, but I don't remember the second time taking the manifold gaskets off, the manifolds off, which I don't believe I'm going to do this time either, because I don't need to. I can get to the head bolts here without removing these, and I can probably chain it up between the, well, here's a bolt, and there's a bolt here, and there should be a bolt hole there. Yes, there is. And I'll just lift it up with the chain hoist. I've got steel up there, and we'll lift it up with a chain hoist, get it out of the way over our heads, and pray that it doesn't conk us out, which it shouldn't. I don't need to do anything with the injector pump because that's brand new 5 years ago. Yeah, so, but other than that, I guess I'll probably even leave the water pump and fan on, because if I'm going to do that, I might as well just send that right up with it as well. Now this tubing here, that can be a bit of a trick. I have to go to the other side and look at that. Yeah, this is where the alternator was. The batteries are obviously disconnected. So yeah, I guess I'm going to have to start work on this thing here so I can get these cylinders out of there. We did figure that the number 2 cylinder, the cap had loosened up. Yep, the cap had loosened up on number 2. You can tell by the shininess on the end cap there and there, and the fact that, which bolt is it? One of these head bolts was, or these rod bolts was shiny. And I think it's going to be, maybe it wasn't this one. Was this one? Yeah, right there. You can see that it had been moving around. See that shiny spot? So just a small amount of movement on there will cause your ring, your bearing to do that. You can still read the bearing. It says 3/1992. I always thought this was a 1994 4960. It's actually a 4955 branded a 4960, or 4960 branded a 4955, because this was a European model. It came out of Germany. I bought it out of Germany. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to drop all the cylinders out. I do have the kit. The kit is here. I got it stashed over here by the welder next to the garbage that's getting out of here right now. And Joe's kite. He's got a little ladybug kite that he found. Obviously, I've got some new bits and pieces here. New bolts. These are the head bolts. I think these are the head bolts. There's all kinds of bolts and shit. Rods and mains. Rods and mains, and then if you get into here, there's a bunch of bolts in that box there, and there's a bunch of bolts in that box. So, and then of course there's the overhaul kit. Now I had posted this online on Instagram a little while ago, maybe a week or so ago, when I picked it up. It was $2,700 worth of junk over there to fix my 4960. Now I really would like to get the thing all back to somewhat pristine condition. I know somebody says, hey, you should put a new cab interior kit in there. Well, we did that already about 2 years ago. And yeah, so, and Timothy, in his infinite wisdom, decided one day that he would go down to Tractor Supply and buy the shittiest paint that he could find and paint the front of this tractor, which pissed me off to no end. You have no idea how mad that made me. Maybe you do have an idea. How mad do you suppose that would make me?
Pretty fucking pissed.
Pretty fucking pissed. That's about my sentiments exactly. Because you could just look at it and be, oh, that's crappy. Makes the tractor look like shit. And I don't know what in the hell he was thinking when he did it, but whatever. So anyways, it'll be all refreshed. I'm not gonna pull those intake and exhaust manifolds off. I'm just gonna leave them right where they're at. I'll leave them right where they're at. I'll remove those cooler lines there so that they're not in the way. And I may even remove that tube up top, but I doubt it. I don't think I need to. There's plenty of swing room there. As long as you're careful. I do have to remove these pieces off the injector. Those are the returns from the injector. Cody had taken those off and he was nice enough to put those on. I do have cap plugs over there that I should put on the tops of them to keep the dirt and shit out of them, which I may do yet. I don't know. Who knows? May or may not. But yeah, I guess I should. Huh?
Start laying down the speedy dry.
Speedy dry. Yeah. Well, here's a bolt. There's a bolt there. Now, I don't know what that one was for. That might have been. It's speedy dry. You can call it what you want, but that's not what it is. So, anyways, I guess enough is enough. I found that to be interesting too. That's yellow paint underneath that head. I don't know why. But, yeah, this will all be new. All be new. Top to bottom will fire it up. And she should have enough horsepower to run us for another 10 years, hopefully. Enough horsepower. I know it was starting to have a lot of blow-by, which increases the temperature of the oil and reduces the longevity of it. The minute you start getting blow-by in these motors, it starts to just destroy the engine from within. So once the rings get weak and they start, you know, worn and weak or broken or whatever, that just sends all that hot gas down into the crankcase, which dirties the oil, plugs the filters, and even causes the, you know, destroys the bearings. So anyway, enough of me talking. Let's get it. Now I believe I could mow this stuff all day, every day. Look at this. Crazy good stuff. Come on, damn camera. It just doesn't want to focus. Anyway, so yeah, I had to abandon my tractor over at the farm and get to mowing because I got a lot of work to do in the next 3 weeks because I'll possibly be back onto a custom job again, baling corn fodder. So, I mean, if everything goes the way I expect it to go, I should be able to be out of here in 2 to 3 weeks and get everything done. I just need the weather to be dry enough. And why is this camera not focused, or is it focused? My eyes won't focus. So, anyways, on the other side you can see Timothy glistening in the switchgrass. That's what this is. Seems to be pretty decent stuff. I've never gotten any complaints for this stuff. It's when you let it get old and woody that you'll get complaints about it, but I don't ever let it do that. I wait until it heads out and is green still, and then it bales up a real nice bale. It really does. And you'll be baling stuff here. It's crazy how much you'll get out from a field like this. I don't really have too much of this anymore. The other farm that I had that had a lot of it, that is pretty well petered out. It skips years, you know. There's some years it'll be incredible and other years it's not. This year it was so-so, but this farm here seems to be